When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers affordably and reliably. The Fence Man uses only the highest quality materials and products, whether wood, aluminum, or chain link. For fences and automatic gates, you got to see the Fence Man. TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Restream family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Restream company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away.
Yep.
Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It is. Yummy. Oh boy, we're cranking it up. Here we go. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Let's kickstart this bad boy for the next 2 hours. Taking you home in style. Or maybe you're already at home checking us out on TV. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Surviving today's 60-mile-an-hour winds. Oh, boy. Dogging the old weather service. They're 0 for 3 in my book. I never remember the weather service, meteorologists predicting wind speeds on just a normal weather day, unless it was like, not a normal weather day, tropical storm, tropical depression, that type of thing. Insane thunder showers. And then it was always like tornado watch or there could be high winds, not these exact number predictions. Yesterday, it was supposed to rain all day today. I was like, 90% chance. The meteorologists are usually right when it's a 90% chance. So chances are it'll rain on Friday. Really not a lot of rain today. But the one thing that, I'm not faulting them for that, but these wind predictions they've been coming up with lately. Three instances I can recall. One was for today. The other one was last Mardi Gras. The other one was last St. Patrick's Day. And they were literally giving mile-per-hour wind predictions, which I've never, ever heard. Wind gusts could be exceeding 30 miles an hour, something like that. Instead, it was like, expect 50-mile-an-hour winds. That was for like St. Patrick's Day, last St. Patrick's Day. It ended up being a great day. St. Patrick's Day canceled their parade. I played golf that day. It was such a nice day. And was it breezy? Sure. But it was breezy, like 10, 12, 15-mile-per-hour winds or 15 knots, whatever. but it wasn't near 50. Mardi Gras, same thing. Mardi Gras Day, expect 50-mile-an-hour winds. I'm like, really? 50-mile-an-hour winds on Mardi Gras Day. I don't know if the floats can come across the Crescent City connection if the wind's blowing 50 miles an hour. Could knock over a Mardi Gras float getting pulled by a tractor. It's not like these things are aeronomically designed or, the weight's 50-50 front and rear axle. It's a Mardi Gras float. It's a big, cumbersome thing that's being pulled about 5 miles an hour, and it's not meant to be aerodynamic or balanced weight. It's not a sports car. So last Mardi Gras, was it breezy? Yes. Probably 15-mile-an-hour winds, maybe even like peaking out at 20. But the prediction was 50-mile-an-hour winds Mardi Gras Day. And I was like, boy, St. Patrick's Day, first time in my life they're predicting these wind speeds. Then Mardi Gras, second time in my life. Yesterday was the third, and I mentioned it. I was like very skeptical. I was like, I'll be shocked if tomorrow has 50-mile-an-hour winds. They're expecting rain, 90% chance of rain, so I'm sure there'll be wind and breeze. But 50 mile an hour? Anyway, yeah. GQ on the North Shore emailed us. I was just walking my dog and a 60-mile-an-hour gust of wind blew me in the ditch. Exactly. GQ also emailed us earlier about, let's see, let me pull up his email. Can't beat it. Steak special, Tong Cho chicken and Choo Choo chicken, all for $50, including the tip. Trey Yen to go. That's GQ up in Covington on the North Shore. Can't beat it. Steak special, Tong Cho chicken and Choo Choo chicken, all for $50, including the tip. That comes out to about $13-14 each on average. With the tip, it comes out to about $16-17, and GQ is a normal tipper. I guarantee you 20+% from the emails I get from this guy. I emailed him back, crazy good, can't beat that. Raising Cane's cost me $20. And I'm not dogging Raising Cane's. It's the only fast food I eat. I get the tenders naked, no batter even. I remember going into Cane's one day. I was like, can I get less batter? Like, you can get them naked. I'm like, what's naked? They're like, no batter. I'm like, I'll try them. So I go to Elmwood. I go see my boy Chad at the Elmwood Raising Cane's on Clearview. And he tightens me up. Some Raising Cane's like, we won't do naked for 6 minutes. But Chad does it. No, I get a Caniac combo. I add an extra finger. It's like $20.37. I'm not complaining. I like Raising Cane's. It's really the only fast food I eat. Folks are fascinated with Chick-fil-A. I just find Chick-fil-A absurdly salty and very greasy. They pressure cook it. It's not like flash fried like Cane's. I don't know. I'm not dogging Chick-fil-A. I get that sometimes, like in an emergency. That's the second fast food I eat. I stopped eating Popeyes. I haven't had McDonald's, Burger King, any of that stuff. I might go to McDonald's and get like a bacon biscuit or something like that one morning before playing golf, but I pretty much avoid fast food. So I'm not dogging Cane's, but Trey Yen lunch specials are absurd, like in a good way. It's not Chinese food. It's gourmet Chinese cuisine. And these lunch specials run like 10, 11, $12. And it's a lot of combination fried rice, and it's a huge portion of whatever entree you choose. There's like about 20 to choose from. And GQ picking up like 3. Tong Cho chicken, the Choo Choo chicken, the steak special with a tip, $50. Now, thank you for that, GQ. Thanks for that email. Plus, you just got me knocking out a Trey Yen commercial. Lunch Tuesday through Friday. Dinner Tuesday through Sunday. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. Get over to the North Shore. Get to Mandeville. Trey Yen in Mandeville. I haven't been to Trey Yen in like 2 weeks, maybe 3. I've been going to the North Shore, and I've been hitting Gallagher's 527 and their $24 3-course lunch special in Mandeville. I can't implore South Shore folks more. I mean, I'm a South Shore resident. I don't live on the North Shore. I have a toll tag because it's, $3.40, I think, for the toll tag instead of like $6. And yeah, I like saving money, but also the convenience. I didn't have to worry about getting the $6, waiting in the line. I just blow through the toll tag line. But no, you South Shore folks, from Lakeside Shopping Center to the foot of the causeway in Mandeville, 25 minutes. And at the foot of the causeway in Mandeville, you got Treyen on the left and Gallagher's 527 on the right. And both of those places kick butt and take names. The best Chinese food in Metro New Orleans, some of the best Chinese food in America, Treyen and Mandeville. We're blessed. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of the best seafood restaurants. Who doesn't love seafood? And Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, steak sizzling in butter, lamb chops, that mixed grill, lamb chops and the quail, the gumbo, the turtle soup. I'm telling you, outstanding. Everything very good to excellent and ridiculously consistent at Gallagher's 527. Boy, speaking of great seafood, the other night I went and plopped down at the bar at Clancy's in Uptown. If you've never been to Clancy's, you're missing out on one of the best restaurants. I talk about Gallagher's 527. If you haven't been there, you're missing out on one of the city's best restaurants. Haven't been to Treyen, you're missing out on some of the best Chinese food, one of the best seafood restaurants. Clancy's is incredible. I got the chicken and andouille gumbo, and I got the speckled trout with jumbo lump crab meat, the meuniere. Just absolutely delicious. Some of the best food anywhere. It's funny. I have some buddies, they live in the Florida Panhandle. I've told you this story. Come on down here, lots of money. And I was like, yeah, just on a Tuesday afternoon, in March or something. Like, what the hell am I doing down here? The money's great, but I like architecture and history. I like music and food. I like culture and people. And the Florida Panhandle has none of that. None of it. And I'm not dogging it. I like the Florida Panhandle a lot. But I just couldn't live there. And one of the main reasons is food. And my buddy who lives down there is like, dude, you can work around that. I'm like, no, I make good food. I grill nice stuff. I can cook. I'm a little mini chef. When I feel like doing it, I can cook stuff. But I really prefer just popping into a great New Orleans place and getting some fantastic food. I talk about Lebanon's Cafe all the time. Fantastic. But I'm fair and objective about this. I know if they're a client, an advertiser on the show, fantastic. I only take the best. I'm fortunate. I'm very picky. I only pick the best. I also like Kebab House on Veterans at Home. They're not a sponsor of the show. Fantastic tabbouleh, great lamb, fried kibbe. When I go to Lebanon's, I get the chicken shawarma, the tabbouleh, and a fried kibbe. When I go to Kebab House, I get the lamb kebab, the tabbouleh, and the fried kibbe. Go check out any of these places. I'm telling you, you'll love them. No, that's one of the reasons I stay down here in New Orleans. It's a dysfunctional, broken city. You go to other cities, you travel outside the levee system, you're like, damn. I mean, Miami has like a half dozen places that have like 6, 8, 10, 12 brand new buildings and a bunch of cranes in the sky, like a half a dozen places in Miami that if we had one of them in New Orleans, we'd be like, damn, we're Austin, we're Charlotte, we're Nashville, our problems are solved. And they got like a half dozen of these little building clusters in Miami with a bunch of brand new buildings and a bunch of new ones coming online. Miami has this thing online, Miami 2030, and it's got like a shadow of all the new buildings proposed in their like downtown CBD. Just impressive. No, that'll make you want to leave New Orleans. But, the convenience, the ease of living here, the people, the culture, and the food keeps me around. Boy, Monday, a big day in our city. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll fill you in on that in a second. Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, Helena Moreno. The bad, Junkie Cantrell. The ugly, Junkie Cantrell. Hey, Total Maintenance is there for you. If you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. If you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Fletcher Mackle joins us next. Fridays with Fletch. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Lebanon's Cafe. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. If you gotta have a fence, you gotta see the Fence Man, a locally owned, fully insured fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years. You gotta see the Fence Man. thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Right around 4:20. We do it every Friday. Another edition of Fridays with Fletcher Mackel, WDSU Channel 6 sports director, sports reporter, sports anchor, sports blogger joins us, and he even does hurricane coverage. What up, Fletch? Same old stuff. What's going on in your world?
It's just a fact. Like in my world, it's Labor Day and then it's New Year's Eve, and it's like, where did the last 4 months? Time, and it doesn't, there's nothing that really like supersedes anything else. Like the Knicks aren't more important than the Yankees aren't more important when the Giants are winning, you know what I mean? And so same with like Chicago, but like here again, I love basketball, I love college baseball, the stuff we have in the spring, but like here everybody speaks a language called hut, and it is like, run the gauntlet for football season because that's what everybody cares about and the main focus is. So now that everybody's done playing, it's this week it was almost like me and my colleagues were looking around going, woo, it's a little bit different this week.
What did you think about last night?
Unbelievable. I mean, what a game. I mean, geez. I mean, I have to admit, Ole Miss kind of became America's team because of what Lane Kiffin and LSU did.
Yep.
So I think that everybody was pulling for Ole Miss and Trinidad Chambliss, and he's so likable, and what a great story. And, I was even hoping on that last play, connect. Like, please, somebody catch that. But still, nonetheless, look, Miami's a traditional power. I've always been kind of a Miami fan, and so I like seeing them back. I like Mario Cristobal. I think, I remember a few years ago, I threw his name out when LSU hired Brian Kelly. People acted like I was insane. And it's like, no, dude, the guy can coach. He's great.
Yeah.
And so yeah, look, I think this whole college football playoff has been great. I can't wait to see tonight's game, Oregon and Indiana. But last night, I mean, Miami, the one thing I didn't understand was Miami's O-line is road graders. I don't understand why they just didn't hand the ball off and run it down Ole Miss's throat for like 500 yards. Again, I think they did a lot of things to keep Ole Miss in the game, but nonetheless, what a great game.
Yeah, what a great game. Yeah, and you're right. Tonight's going to be really good, Indiana and Oregon. Oregon, I get. Indiana's come out of nowhere. Signetti's just done a fantastic job there, huh?
Again, look, Nick Saban's tree. I mean, Cristobal's off that tree. Signetti's off that tree. I mean, Saban knew talent, how to develop it. He knows coaches, and they learn from the best. And, yeah, I mean, look, this guy's a winner. I mean, you go back to from JMU, Elon, wherever he's gone, they just win. He goes to Indiana, and, I mean, he had him in the playoffs last year, and they may be the best team in the country this year.
No, it's absolutely crazy, too, how he's done it so quickly. That Saban tree, Fletcher, I've never seen anything like it in college or pro. There might be 25 or 30 coaches off that tree.
Yeah, and look, it's just one of those things. Look, make no mistake, Nick Saban is the greatest coach in the history of college football. I mean, like, to me, it's not even arguable.
It's not arguable. It's not arguable.
Peyton Manning, and I would argue that, like, he's one of the three greatest quarterbacks ever. But what Brady did, it's hard to argue that Brady isn't the greatest football player in the history of the NFL.
Yep.
What Saban's the greatest of the greatest. He's the greatest coach in the history of college football. And so he knows what he's doing and how to do it. And people wanted to be a part of that. And he knew the traits he was looking for. And these people learned from the best. So, yeah, look, again, it's a ridiculous clip of guys off his tree and the success they've had. But for whatever reason, I'm just not surprised.
A generation ago, there was an argument of who the greatest coach was. It was a handful. A generation ago, there was an argument of which program was the greatest in college football. Notre Dame, LSU, Alabama, USC, whatever, Ohio State, whatever. Now there's no argument. Alabama is the greatest program in the history of college football, and there's no argument. It's who's second or third. You can battle over that. Alabama's far and away the best, and Nick Saban is far and away the single greatest coach in the history of college football, and you just argue about 2 and 3.
Yeah, look, Nick Saban changed the game forever.
Yep.
I mean, Nick Saban is the reason why LSU just went through their craziness this fall, because everybody was chasing Nick Saban, which is good. Everybody should chase the best. You're in this to be great and to be great and to be the best. Nick Saban was the best, and everybody trying to chase him, the salaries became exorbitant, the money being thrown at it, because it's like, if you want to beat Saban, the SEC became a hornet's nest of, if we're going to get to Bama's level, we need to give these coaches these contracts and invest this and do this. And so he elevated and changed the game like no one has in modern history.
No doubt. Fletcher Mackel's with us, another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Hey, Fletch, the Saints are done for the year, but they win 4 of their last 5. They beat Vegas on that over-under. The NFC South is really kind of pathetically weak. It is totally up for grabs next year. I wish the Saints organization historically was some hyper aggressive, organization going after free agents. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're going to go get, 8 or 10 guys that they actually need for next year. But hopefully they hit on a few. Hopefully they land a few free agents. And if they can duplicate the draft that they just have had again, they could be like a 9-10 win team and a playoff team, especially in the NFC South, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know that Mickey Loomis tempered expectations earlier this week, saying, look, we're excited about Tyler. He's our guy. Fans are excited about him. Media's excited about him. People that talk about the league on radio, podcast, TV, they're excited about him because you've seen enough to be excited. And Mickey tried to temper the expectations, saying, look, he's made 9 starts. He hasn't even started a full season. We don't want to skip steps. We're not there. But look, the NFC South has been the weakest division in football for about 5 years now. Since Tom Brady's last year. Tom Brady's last year, they went 9-8, I think. And since then, the division champ is at best in Tampa. They won 10 games, last year or the year before. So the division remains wide open. The one thing that the Saints have never miscalculated is we don't have some juggernaut generational team. We don't have Brady and the Patriots for 15 years dominating our division. We don't have what Patrick Mahomes did for a decade or almost a decade recently with Kansas City just wiping out the rest of the AFC West. This division is wide open. And so the one thing they've gotten right is, yes, I would make the argument that had they started Tyler Shuck since week 1, they may have won this division because they may have stolen another game or two along the way, and they may have still been alive in the last week of the season. So look, I think with the young players that they have hitting in this draft, I think they're going to bring back, Cam and DeMario. I think they will probably be, one of the favorites because look, Carolina doesn't impress me that much. Tampa, I feel like, has hit their ceiling. And who knows what's happening in Atlanta. So, yeah, the Saints' expectations should be winning a division championship. Even if you're not some 14-3 juggernaut, you're good enough to get to 9-10 wins and win this division in year 2 with a young quarterback.
Fletcher Mackle's with us. Hey, Fletch, when's the NBA trade deadline?
Coming up at the end of January.
Okay, so coming up in just a few weeks.
Yeah.
Please tell me the Pelicans are very much considering trading Zion Williamson. Please tell me that is on the table. I haven't seen Joe Dumars since before the season started. He's missing in action. Please tell me he's not thinking he can turn Zion Williamson into a consistent player because it's not about that. We've seen him play great basketball. We've seen him at an all-star level. Next week he's going to stub his toe and he's going to be sitting out.
Yeah, no, look, I think the Zion chapter is over here. But let me just say this. Unfortunately, for the fans that are cut him, again, they could cut him today. They could cut him today and get out of his contract. But I think what they're hoping is that there will be a team at the trade deadline that they will get something that can help this team that is struggling so badly right now, that can help them in the future. And look, I would say this right now. The trade deadline coming up, they will try to trade him. Even if they say they're not, they are.
Good.
If they can't trade him then, the draft in June is the next marker because a lot of trades happen around the draft. And if not then, if he has no worth and they can get nothing for him, my gut tells me is they will cut him July 15th. They have to cut him to get out of his contract for next season. That's probably the line of demarcation is July 15th.
There's not going to be some, Herschel Walker to the Vikings, trade. I know that's NFL to NBA. But I'm just hoping there's a playoff caliber team that's God, this is the third guy we need to really win. And, the Pels get a first-round pick or a starter from that team, something like that. But, yeah, I'm glad you're saying Zion's going to go. Hey, we got about a minute, 2 questions, maybe 20 seconds each. Haven't heard much with Tulane and the transfer portal. Are they pulling in a few dozen players like they did last year, Will Hall's crew?
Yeah, there's a few players that they've pulled in. And I think, look, here's the thing. Unfortunately, the transfer portal is now dominated by the Power 4 schools. The trickle down will get to Tulane. I want to see what they're going to do, too, but I do think they'll be okay.
LSU and Lane Kiffin seem to have trouble landing a quarterback. They're getting outbid by other schools like Texas Tech.
Better find two. They don't have any. So you better find not one. You better find two. So I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, you're right. They really need two. You need two. You need some competition. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. All right, you got a pick for tonight's game and who's going to be in the national title game and who's going to win it?
Yeah, I think Indiana is Oregon's really great. I think Indiana's gonna win this game, and I'm not pulling against Miami. I think Indiana's probably the best team in the country, but Miami's just on a heater right now. So I think it's Indiana, Miami, and I'm going to go Miami as the winner.
Fletcher Mackel. See you over the weekend on Channel 6. Thanks.
All right.
That's Fletcher Mackel from WDSU. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home, and right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone at Audubon Gutters.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We go from Fletcher Mackel talking sports, taking it up a level. Michael Heck joins us from Greater New Orleans Inc. Happy New Year, Michael.
Thank you, KJ. Welcome to 2026. Promises you more thrills and chills, just like 2025.
Yep. What, boy, let's not harp on the negative. We'll just focus on the positive. Monday, Helena Moreno at noon will become mayor of the city of New Orleans.
It's morning in New Orleans. It's exciting. I mean, it's a little bit
funny because it feels like she's already been mayor for like 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
But I guess now we can formalize it. And, it's, I can't really adequately explain the difference. We've gone from having to manage personalities to now managing problems. And what you find is that when you manage problems without the personalities, most of them are not that hard because they've happened in other places. We know best practice. People want to help. I'm not trying to minimize what we're dealing with, but a lot of it is pretty damn manageable with just the right attitude. And when the mayor says that we fundamentally don't have a money problem, we have a management problem, she's 1,000% right.
No, right. The money problem can be solved. The management problem is a little harder. You just throw money at things, but you could get good management. They won't waste that money. But it seems like she's putting a good team together. Joe Giarruso's legit. I saw today reading the newspaper, Steve Nelson from the Sewage and Water Board. I get him on this program all the time. Even when the crap's hitting the fan at the Sewage and Water Board, he comes on the show. He says what he has to say. I thought that was a great hire. It looks like the crew she's putting together is solid.
Yeah, she's putting together a diverse, solid, able group, and a group that I would characterize as being a bunch of happy warriors, which is what you need. You need people that are going to get up in the morning and not be daunted or turned off by the scale of what they have to deal with, but are going to be excited by it, are going to be engaged by it. And I think we got that. So no, I'm thrilled with the team, the attitude, and I think we're going to have a city that looks and feels very different in as few as 2 years.
Michael, I remember when I was younger, like college days, get a ticket, don't go to court, license gets revoked. I'm driving around for weeks or a month before I get that taken care of, and I'm nervous as crap. Problems are like overwhelming sometimes. And then when you solve them, you're like, my God, why was I not solving this before? Now, fixing New Orleans is a little tougher. We've literally been on like a 40-year slide. Literally since the early to mid 80s, it's like 40 years now. And places like Houston, Dallas, Atlanta have tripled in size. Places like Austin and Nashville that were little towns are now major cities with double our metro population, literally double. 2.5 million in those places. We got like 1.2 million. In 1970, we crossed 1 million people in the metro. In 1980, we went to 1.3 million. In the 70s, 300,000 people came into New Orleans. 300,000 in the 70s. We grew by 30%. A couple of things. How do we finally get over the hump where we're like, damn, that 40-year, drought is behind us, and it's crazy it took so long to fix it. And how do we grow the city? How do we have young people move here, meet other young people, get married, procreate, and live here like they do in those other cities I just mentioned?
Well, I think the first thing is that I give a lot of credit to Mayor-elect Moreno for identifying population growth as the measure of her success. That takes courage because she's identifying the thing. So that's great. When I think about what are the fundamentals that drive population growth, to me, there are 6 things that undergird the challenges. I call them the dissatisfiers, a term that Mitch Landry came up with. To me right now, they are crime, perception and reality, flood risk, perception and reality, education, cost and quality, cost of living, particularly homes and insurance, livability, things like homelessness, and the last one is the brand that wraps all that together. And the truth is that you have to make progress in terms of both the perception and the reality of all of them at the same time over a long period of time, like a decade. And if you do that, you can turn the battleship, but none of it happens quickly. And it is both about the reality and the perception. Let me give you an example. So in crime, we just had the safest year in your and my lifetimes in New Orleans, right? In terms of homicides, okay? It's still not great. We're still 4 times the national average, but it's the safest in 50 years. At the same time, there are rankings that are coming out right now ranking New Orleans as the most dangerous city in America. It's not true,
but it's out there, and it reinforces this perception, despite our recent success, which, by the way, is 3 times as good as the national average decline in homicide. So these are the things that we have to manage, both changing the facts on the ground, but also changing the way the world sees us and we see ourselves. And so, it's a lot, but it's an honor to be able to engage.
I often say, the last 40, 50 years, the South, the fastest growing region in the country, Texas, the fastest growing state. We're literally surrounded by growth. We didn't miss the boat. We missed the rocket ship.
Yeah, it probably goes back to the 80s when other governors were going and visiting Mr. Toyota and visiting, BMW. And Mike Foster, who did some things good like education, was afraid of flying. And so he didn't do that. And as a result...
And he flew in a helicopter. He had his own helicopter. It's crazy.
Well, I don't know what...
I remember Michael, literally him saying, you don't have to leave the state to lure in business. And Alabama had given like the South Korean guy at, or the Japanese guy at Toyota, like a cell phone that you hit send and it calls me. I don't care about the time change. Call me at 4 a.m. Alabama went from 0 automotive jobs to about 15% of all automotive jobs in America. They created that industry from nothing. So, yeah, I remember Mike Foster, you don't have to travel outside the state to lure in business. I think Jeff Landry proved that wrong, going to South Korea and landing that Hyundai steel plant.
It's ridiculous, and so that was, and remind me, so why, if he flew his own helicopter, why was it just lack of motivation? Why didn't he want to leave?
I don't know. I think he was worrying about getting his law degree at Southern at the time. I have no idea. And Mike Foster was a good guy, but I think it was like, Mike Foster, we accepted him because it wasn't Edwin Edwards. It's like, hey, at least, they're not going to steal everything.
Right.
No, I look at all these other cities, Michael. It's like hard to find a city that isn't growing. And New Orleans has been stagnant for 40 years. So we're obviously doing some major things wrong. It seems like if we just fix a few things, we can jump on that train that all these other cities have. I mean, those other cities are booming and they don't have culture, food, music, architecture, history, and they're exploding.
Yeah, even and then you go to these places, you go to a place that's been exploding, like Denver, for example. Denver's not great. Denver is like Los Angeles in the mountains, but they had those right combinations relative to the dissatisfiers, and they were booming. Now it's kind of slowing down. But anyway, I had lunch the other day with former Mayor Mark Morial, and he said, I think that we have a chance for a reset. And I think that's the fairest way to say it.
Oh, boy, you're scaring the hell out of me now. I think Mark Morial's part of the problem. I think Mark Morial was a terrible mayor. Maybe the arguably most corrupt administration in our city's history. The best thing Mark Morial did, 2 things. Got out of the way when the Feds sent us Richard Pennington, and got out of the way and let Bill Hines try to bring an NBA franchise here. Those kind of things scare me. Like when Helena Moreno had Mark Morial, I like that he's MIA. I like that he hadn't been here for 20 years. I like that. I honestly think the Feds pulled a get out of Dodge and we won't indict you kind of gimmick, and he left.
That's the word. That's the word about how it happened.
I just don't like that kind of stuff. These are people that have failed us in the past. One thing I worry about Helena, I hope she is. I like Mitch. I think Mitch Landrieu's honest, but I think Mitch Landrieu's such a politician, like Cedric Grant running the Sewage and Water Board, that political anointed appointed hack. I don't like having to repay these political favors. So that worries me a bit about Helena. But talking about repaying political favors, there's not a conservative Republican voice in New Orleans politics. There's not anyone elected. There's not anyone anointed and appointed. I'm a registered independent, Michael, like you. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, but it seems like we need a voice. Like Louisiana needs some liberal voices because it's very hardcore right, and Louisiana's failed us. New Orleans is very woke and hyper liberal. Are there going to be any conservative voices? If Helena Moreno has to pay back anyone, I hope it's the conservative Republicans, not the Mark Morial types.
Well, I mean, what I can say, and I don't want to speak for Helena, but what I have seen is that there are people who I know, people who I'm friends with, who are conservative, who are even MAGA, and they have been meeting with her, and they've been having meals with her.
Good.
And so, they might not be, the deputy mayors, but she's done a good job of listening to or co-opting or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
She has not been she seems to be unafraid of having people with different national viewpoints or cultural viewpoints in her circle. And smart politicians do that. I'll give you an example. Jason Williams, the DA, has developed a very productive relationship with Rafael Goyeneche at the Metropolitan Crime Commission, right? Those are not people who are naturally aligned, but Jason realized that he was going to be stronger having a working relationship with Rafael, even if they don't agree always, even if Rafael criticizes him. And it's worked out, and the results have been good for everybody. And so I think Helena is also savvy in that way.
Now I'll take it a step further with Jason Williams, working with Liz Murrill.
Yeah, same thing. And look, if you look at the way Helena has worked with the governor, has worked with Liz Murrill, I mean, it's gonna. These are adults operating in an adult way, recognizing that people have their politics, but that ultimately, again, I go back to my first point: the fact that she's willing to take on the mantle of population growth as her measure of success, I think shows courage and confidence.
I often say, nationwide, when Reagan was president and Democrats controlled Congress, when Clinton was president and Republicans controlled Congress, those were pretty good times in America.
Yeah, that's right. That's generally the most functional type of balance that you have.
Yeah, I just think you go all Democrat or all Republican, it's disaster, it's failure coming on the horizon. Hey, Michael, hang on real quick. We're going to knock out a quick break, come right back and talk about some more good news. Yeah, Monday at 12 noon, New Orleans has a brand new mayor for at least the next 4 years. Coming right back, more with Michael Heck. Don't move.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers affordably and reliably. The Fence Man uses only the highest quality materials and products, whether wood, aluminum, or chain link. For fences and automatic gates, you got to see the Fence Man. thefenceman-neworleans.com.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Finishing up right now. Hang on, right? Welcome back. 5 o'clock Power Hour continues. Finishing up the 4 o'clock. Oh, excuse me. The 5 o'clock Power Hour is coming our way. Finishing up the 4 o'clock hour. Michael Hex with us for a few more minutes from Greater New Orleans Inc. So, Michael, how optimistic are you about Monday and the future of New Orleans compared to like all the years you've been here running Greater New Orleans Inc.?
I would say that my optimism level for the near term is as high as it's ever been. In my 18 years at G&O Inc., I would put my optimism for the near term at like 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Very, very, very high and unreservedly. I think the real question for us, KJ, is not are we going to do better over the next 4 years or 8 years, but are we going to be able to make the structural changes so we're going to do better over the next 20? Because we're going to get good mayors and bad mayors. And I think so my optimism about the midterm is more guarded optimism, because there's a lot of things that we have to do that in many ways are harder than just turning the lights back on. But in the immediate term, I'm extremely optimistic, and I'll take that to start.
No, that's a hell of a good point. Nashville, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Miami, whatever. They've all had good and bad mayors, and it doesn't cripple the city either way.
That's right.
Or benefit the city either way. Like the structure's already in place for it to win, and how it's supposed to be, these politicians are incidentals. They're supposed to be like the maitre d', the person that parks the car, the person that opens the door. The business community is supposed to lead.
The quality of the success of a city should not hinge fundamentally on the quality of the chief executive. That's not a functional organization. It should be impacted, but it shouldn't hinge. And that's been part of our big man problem as a city and as a state, frankly, too.
Hey, Miguel, when I talk about like reimagining Bourbon Street, that's just one of the things I come up with. I'm not expecting Helena Moreno to embrace that. But boy, if Helena Moreno as mayor would say, we're going to no longer be the litter capital of the world. We're no longer going to be the filthiest city in America. And we implemented some things that maybe other places have done and have success with litter. It could change the whole, mentality of the city. And honestly, I think like the NOPD and Troop NOLA getting rid of like the four-wheelers on Sunday and the cars drifting, these little crimes, it deters bigger crimes. You clean the city, it makes us more legit and a better chance of having a good economy in my mind.
No, that's totally true. All the broken windows stuff is true. It's accurate. It's how it works.
I just hope because no one in my life has embraced cleaning up our city, acknowledged it's one of the filthiest in America. And I blame the citizens of the metro area. I mean, could New Orleans or Jefferson or St. Tammany have better trash people? Sure. But, and I'm not talking about the private company. I'm talking about the municipalities and, sanitation and stuff. But, I think it's the citizens. I see black, white, old, young, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat just throwing their crap out the car. I mean, that mentality has to change, and a mayor could maybe change the mentality.
Yeah, no, it's a culture change. And in that sense, that vibe does start at the top. And, I think this is how I think I want to put it really simply. 2 qualities needed to be an excellent mayor is you have to love your city and you have to love yourself. And the current mayor, very sadly, I think failed both tests. I think that the new mayor does not. I think that means that we're going to get a better attitude at the top, and it should go all the way down.
Michael, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm not a dummy either. You mentioned flooding and how important that is and how much of a deterrent it is for business is moving here. A couple of just vanilla simple things. I mean, that Wagner and Ball New Orleans water plan that you were participating in, Greater New Orleans Inc. was part of that, helping to fund that. That was over a decade ago, and we've implemented almost none of it. And it's not only Orleans, it's St. Bernard and Jefferson. Retention ponds. I mean, we should be digging big holes all over the city for retention ponds all the time. And the second thing, a big oak tree absorbs 1,000+ gallons of water when it rains, 1,000+ gallons. Trees are a huge mitigator of flooding. We have a tree canopy of like 18%. Atlanta, Georgia has a tree canopy of 49%. I mean, we're an island in the top of the subtropic zone in a marsh in a wetland. We should be by far the greenest, most tree-filled city in the United States of America. Not even close.
Yeah, no, all these things, I think the biggest challenge we have, I was just talking to Joe Giarrusso about this, is there's so many things that we can do that will be helpful and additive. We have just to prioritize and, figure out how we take a portfolio approach and do a few things that will have immediate return, a few things that are longer term. And if we do it that way, then we will, over time, almost imperceptibly, begin to see the mood raise and attitudes change. And I think that's going to start. Honestly, it already has started. We don't have to wait till noon on Monday.
The beautiful thing is you get Scalise, Kennedy, these guys getting the money from the feds. Hey, feds, dig retention ponds in New Orleans now so we don't have to pay a huge bill later that's much larger than digging the retention ponds. Give us money for trees now so we mitigate flooding so there isn't a huge bill later on when it floods. I think these would be easy sells and we don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, this is kind of an odd way to end it. A few buddies of mine just today, they sent me these Elon Musk tweets on X about Mississippi and Reeves, the governor, or Tate, whoever it is, talking about these AI facilities now coming to Mississippi, a $20 billion one. Louisiana's got a few of those, I told my friends, but I'm kind of not sold on them. They use a lot of energy, they gobble up a lot of water, and they employ a few hundred people. Am I missing the boat on this?
Well, yes and no. I think that you're right about the concerns, and we'll see. We have to approach these things carefully in terms of how they're structured financially and environmentally. That's totally fair. But I think the other side of it is that if we don't get into this game, we risk having a repeat of what happened with the auto industry.
Yep.
So I'm glad that I'm glad that we have Meta in Louisiana. It helps in terms of momentum and brand, and at least it puts us, there's no question that AI is happening. So at least we're in it in some ways. So I think both can be true.
Michael, always love having you on the program. Can't wait to visit with you next week to recap next week and the new mayor, and also get some single, double, triples, and home runs out of you. What's coming in the future for New Orleans, business-wise?
Yeah, we have a couple of those coming for sure, my friend.
I love to hear it. Michael Heck, Greater New Orleans Inc. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year, brother.
You too, brother. Take care. See you for the next administration.
Yeah, you're right. Next administration. That's Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. 5 o'clock powwow is next. Don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on
Blue
TV
Boy.
on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Good boy. Good boy.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers affordably and reliably. The Fence Man uses only the highest quality materials and products, whether wood, aluminum, or chain link. For fences and automatic gates, you got to see the Fence Man. thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 5 o'clock power hours upon us. Doesn't get much better than that, huh? What we do best. 5 p.m. on Friday till about 9 a.m. on Monday. Hopefully this new administration coming in on Monday will do the Monday through Friday 9 to 5 stuff right as well. But we are Party City, Festival City, USA. Mardi Gras is 5 weeks from Tuesday. 5 weeks from this Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day in New Orleans. About 1 million folks invade our city, and we have a great party. The thing I love about Mardi Gras, which is so cool, I mean, just besides that's part of our culture. Like Tuesday, you're roaming around St. Charles Avenue or the French Quarter or the Marigny or wherever, and you're like, man, everywhere else in America, it's a Tuesday, and they're working. It's just a regular Tuesday. In New Orleans, it's the biggest party, biggest free party on planet Earth. You know, I have Bradley Sneller on the program on Thursdays from Stacked Coaching. New year, you want to get fit? StackedCoaching.com. Do yourself a favor. Don't be scared. Check it out. I was out of shape. I was soft and gushy, never fat, but like the Pillsbury Doughboy, you poke me with your finger, I giggle, not anymore. Now I'm not some, ripped, muscular lunatic, but I'm in pretty good shape now, thanks to stackcoaching.com. They can make a big difference for you. But Bradley Sneller, this guy's a genius. Not only is he great with fitness and nutrition, this is the best idea I've ever heard for Mardi Gras. Bradley literally hires a band, a little marching band, 5 guys, 6 guys, drums, horns, and they're, they lead the way. And Bradley and his friends, I went last year for the first time. I'm going again this year. We meet in the French Quarter and we follow this band around the French Quarter. And it's Mardi Gras. It's not like you need a permit or, it's Mardi Gras Day. The quarter is full of tens of thousands of people, if not like 100,000 folks in and around the French Quarter. And it's funny, there'll be like 50 of us. And literally within 5 minutes of marching, a few dozen people join in. About an hour into it, there's like another 100. About 2 hours into it, there are more people than the original group. Like we got like 40 or 50, and there's like 250 other people marching with us that we don't even know. And they don't care to meet us or vice versa. It's not like I'm against meeting. I'd say hello and meet them. But they're just like, here's a little party. Here's a little band. Love the music. Let's go with this crew. We stop at different bars, stop at different places, grab a bite to eat. It's awesome. It's a great way to spend Mardi Gras. So kudos to you, Bradley Sneller at stackedcoaching.com for coming up with the band gimmick and all of that. But Bradley's an old LSU band member, So it's part of his DNA. Anyway, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. If you missed the last hour, you missed a lot. Fletcher Mackel joined us talking sports. Michael Heck just joined us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Scott Craig's going to join us from Katie's and Francesca Deli in about 30 minutes. Just a couple of yats chopping it up on a Friday. Hey, speaking of Scott Craig and Francesca Deli and Katie's, ding, 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 the 5 o'clock whistle brought to you by Katie's. Katie's in Mid-City, as good as it gets, as New Orleans as it gets. Looking for a great place for dinner tonight? Lunch tomorrow? They got brunch tomorrow, lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch. Take advantage of outdoor dining at Katie's. They're on the corner of Iberville and Telemachus. They got tables running down the Iberville side of the building. They got tables running down the Telemachus side of the building. And Scott recently, just a few months ago, opened up a great patio inside of Katie's. Outdoor dining inside as well. Inside the building, but it's outside on the patio. No, we got mild summer-like weather. Next week, Monday, it's going to start like winter mix for the whole week. Like all next week, like 30s, 40s, and 50s, all next week. A regular, legitimate January in New Orleans starts next week. But this mild, almost summer-like weather we're having, ideal outdoor dining weather. Get to Katie's or whatever restaurant you're going to over the weekend. See if they have tables outside and enjoy this weather while we can. Most places around the country, I don't mean to bring up Minneapolis, and I'm not going to talk about that today, but you saw the snow on the street. It's cold up there, gray sky. We had a nice sunny day today after some clouds cleared off. It's like 70-something degrees. Very mild weather, especially for January, but great outdoor dining weather, so take advantage of it. Yeah, the 5 o'clock whistle appropriately brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? Get over there for dinner. So good. Scott Craig will join us in 30 minutes. Monday, a new era in New Orleans. We could have elected a garbage can, and I don't mean it like a person that's a garbage can. I mean a physical garbage can, a 55-gallon drum, a cinder block, a piece of sheetrock, a rock. We could have elected that as mayor, and if that entity, that thing were inaugurated on Monday, it would be an improvement over the last 8 years, and everyone knows that. It's going to be such a pleasure to not be talking about Junket Cantrell as mayor of the city of New Orleans. It literally took an indictment to neuter, spay, whatever, Junket Cantrell from the travel. It literally took a federal indictment where they took away her passport and restricted her travel to the 10-parish region of the Eastern District of Louisiana. No, it was brilliant. It was long overdue. The council could have done it, but they didn't. And Junket Cantrell, because she simply does not give a crap, ridiculously narcissistic, insane ego, and beyond the chart selfishness. You know, what free meal can I get? Let's go get some drinks. I like catching a buzz. I like getting drunk. You know, 2 times I've seen LaToya Cantrell in the last year. Houston's on St. Charles Avenue, Lillette on Magazine, hammered, like embarrassing hammered. It's like, are you a frat boy, a college kid? It's a joke. You're in public and you're the mayor of the city. You know, you better have some cops driving you around. You know, just thank God, seriously. Monday at noon, the Junket Cantrell administration is over with. All the BS, all the nonsense, all the, taking anything they can that's not hammered down to the floor. It's done. Helena Moreno came in and like 35 people in Junket Cantrell's office are being let go. And it's not like she's replacing them with 35 of her people. I don't know how many people are in that office, but let's pretend the number's 100. 35 are gone, so Helena Moreno is only going to bring in 65. Like, there are 35 positions that are gone, people that do nothing, people that Junket Cantrell just simply handed a job to, and no results, nothing's required of them. So all that nonsense, all that crap's gone. And another thing, Helena Moreno, married, they do pretty well, her and her husband, they have money, they're kind of affluent. She's not going to steal. She's not built that way. I've known Helena Moreno from her days at Channel 6. I'm not like tight with Helena Moreno. We don't call each other and talk. I'm not friends with her. Like, I'm friendly with her, but I don't go out to dinner with her, any of that stuff. I don't befriend the people I cover on this program, but I'm friendly with her. I've known her for 20 plus years. Helena Moreno, just the way she was raised, the way she's built. First off, she's very intelligent. And she is not capable of stealing or that kind of nonsense. She's not going to set up some friend or family member with some city job or contract that enriches them. She's about doing the civic-minded thing of, being an elected official and representing us. So Democrat, Republican, you can agree, disagree with her ideology, but I think you're not going to have to worry about the nonsense, the crap, the baggage that we've had to experience the last 8 years. And a lot of other mayors, I like Mitch Landrieu. I think Mitch Landrieu is an honest guy, but I think Mitch Landrieu is very political. And I bring up that example, the anointed, appointed hack, this Cedric Grant, this just joker of a just anointed, appointed political hack. I'm driving on the Lafitte Greenway, riding on my bike. They have that public pool almost by Claiborne on the Lafitte Greenway. There's a plaque. Cedric Grant's name's on it, some BS position under the Morial administration. That joker was like 30 years in New Orleans politics. He makes $180,000 in retirement for the rest of his life. And I know more about the Sewage and Water Board than he does, and he was the director of it. Ghassan Corbin did more in 7 years than the Sewage and Water Board did in the previous 70. So I like Mitch Landrieu. A lot of his appointees were legit, the best people available. Some were like political payback, like that hack Cedric Grant, that pathetic human being. Blank resume. We don't need any more of these people in the city. We need experts like Ghassan Corbin, people that are ideally from outside the city, or if they're inside the city, great. Steve Nelson from the Sewage and Water Board comes on this program all the time. He's going to be part of that administration. Joe Giarrusso is a legitimate guy, incapable of stealing, capable of setting up friends and family. He's part of it as CAO. So those are positives. I just talked to Michael Hecht last hour. Michael, New Orleans has a major void, having a single conservative or Republican in an elected position, or even an anointed or appointed position. I can't think of a single one in New Orleans government anywhere. And Michael reassured me. He's like, you're going to see some conservative Republicans, part of Helena Moreno's team or part of her administration. She's been going, he said, having meetings and going to lunch, dinner with conservative Republicans. Now, I'm an independent. Just New Orleans is pure Democrat, and it's failed us for years. I'm not saying it has to be pure Republican, but we need both. We need both voices, both people representing. Coming right back.
Simlawn artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Boy, I guess those meteorologists or the weather service, they're 0 for 3 now. I talked about it yesterday. Yesterday, rain predicted for today. Look, rain predictions, 90%. I don't fault the weather people for being right or wrong on that. Some little areas had rain in Metro New Orleans. Some areas totally dry. It wasn't 90% today, whatever. The thing that I do fault them on, I don't know if it's new technology, AI, but I mentioned this yesterday. Last Mardi Gras, they predicted this wind speed for the day. No tropical storm, no tropical depression, no thunder showers, threat of tornadoes. All that's legit. Just, hey, it's going to be 50-mile-an-hour winds on Mardi Gras Day. I'm like, I've never heard a specific wind speed like that, 50 miles an hour. And I was very skeptical. Was it breezy and windy last Mardi Gras? Yes, it was. More so than a regular day. But it was like 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds at the most, 10, 15 mile an hour. Nowhere near 50. Then they did it again. And I was like, that's when I brought it up. I was like, damn, I remember Mardi Gras, they predicted these crazy wind speeds. Now it's St. Patrick's Day, predicting 50-mile-an-hour winds. A lot of folks canceled events like the St. Patrick's Day March. I played golf that day. It was breezy, but it was like Mardi Gras, 10, 15-mile-an-hour winds, not 50. Yesterday, the Weather Service said 90% chance of rain, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And yesterday, I said, no shot. It might rain tomorrow. I believe it's going to rain, but I don't think we're going to have 60-mile-an-hour winds. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's crazy. And, nowhere near 60-mile-an-hour winds today at all. I mean, not even 10-mile-an-hour winds today. I just don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to talk to Scott Pelier or some meteorologist in town and figure out where this new wind thing's coming up, the speed of wind. Because thunder showers, tropical storm, tornado watch, that's all legit. But these exact numbers like Mardi Gras Day, St. Patrick's Day, it was 50-mile-an-hour is predicted, like this number, 50. And for today, it was 60-mile-an-hour winds. I was like, it's like almost tropical storm-like. Where are they pulling this out of? Yeah, their rear end. Anyway, they're 0 for 3. But again, maybe the new technology, AI, is saying that, and it's just not lining up yet. Who knows? On Monday, this Monday, a huge day for the city of New Orleans. By default, it could be Joe the plumber. It could be where's the beef lady from Wendy's. It could be anybody. It could be a cinder block. It could be a boulder. It could be a box full of sand from the beach. It would be an improvement as mayor compared to Junket Cantrell. She is like backing your vehicle into the mud and spinning the tires. So not only are you not going anywhere, but you're putting wear and tear on the motor, the axle, you're putting miles on the car, and you're not moving forward. That was Junket Cantrell. Spending money, wasting money, being the mayor of the city, and moving New Orleans backwards. Totally backwards. I mean, basically, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but as a human being, a pretty worthless individual. And New Orleans not only elected her mayor, but elected her mayor twice. There is a major dysfunction and brokenness in New Orleans. And it continues. We keep electing morons. But Helena Moreno's no moron. Maybe the trend is stopping now. And I'm not going to sit there and go, boy, Helena Moreno is going to be the best mayor ever. But by default, Helena Moreno will be an improvement over Junket Cantrell. So thank God for that. The Junket Cantrell administration, this BS nonsense from this lunatic, is over this Monday at 12 noon. And the one thing we can look forward to with Junket Cantrell after she's not mayor, her pleading guilty to the feds in this indictment or going to trial and going to jail. And speaking of jail, I don't wish jail on anyone, but Junket Cantrell deserves time behind bars. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever. I'm not going to be the person sentencing her, but she deserves jail time. I mean, if she's smart, she's got a great attorney. She pleads guilty and tries to get probation, tries to pay some fines and not serve any jail time or go to a halfway house or something like that if she's smart. But I don't think LaToya Cantrell's dumb, but she's not smart. She's painfully average. And even worse than that, selfish, self-centered, belligerent, crooked, just not a good person. And the exact opposite of what we need running this city. The great thing about Helena Moreno, civic-minded. I've known her for 20 plus years. We're not friends. We're not tight, but I know who she is. She knows who I am. She's honest. She's hardworking. She's concerned about the city. I mean, we're going to do better by default because Junket Cantrell is gone at 11:59 this Monday. No, thank God. Seriously. I mean, as a native New Orleanian, it's such a blessing that this 8 years is over with. Crazy. I mean, just crazy. No, we have a chance now. There's, a possibility of hope. There's an expectation now. Last 8 years, there was none of that. No, thank God. 11:59 Monday, the Junket Cantrell 8-year nightmare is over. And at 12 noon, Helena Moreno will be inaugurated as New Orleans' 67th mayor. Yeah, Monday, a big, big day in New Orleans. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You want me to break it down? The good, Helena Moreno. The bad, Junket Cantrell nearly wrecked the city. The ugly, Junket Cantrell nearly wrecked the city. Oh, wow. Thank goodness. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. Kiefer and Kiefer Law Firm has been in New Orleans for decades, committed to their clients. You know, the doctors they recommend are the doctors they use, the doctors they use themselves, helping people that are in need. That's what Kiefer and Kiefer Law Firm's all about. If you have a real injury, a real claim, you need a real lawyer that can deliver real results, Kiefer and Kiefer is for you. Check them out online, kieferandkiefer.com. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Doesn't get much better than this come Monday. Big day for the city. Thank goodness. Wow. No, I was talking to Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. last hour. Now, I know these are, they're not the big ticket items. They're not glamorous or those kind of things, but I think these things are of vital importance. The little things are the things that help the big things. Troop NOLA coming into New Orleans, the NOPD proactively policing instead of reactively policing now. I'll tell you some little crimes. The four-wheelers on Sunday, the dirt bikes, four-wheelers tooling around town, taking over the city. I mean, you can go on my Twitter or YouTube, actually, the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, go under videos, and you can see me riding in the middle of a pack of four-wheelers down Claiborne. I had to get home. I'm not going to let them go. I'm on the road. They're all surrounding me, and I wasn't hitting them, and they weren't hitting me. Everybody's fine. We're crossing over the Hump by Nashville. There's an NOPD cop in the video sitting at the light. These four-wheelers run the red light. The cop just drives straight towards the river, going across Claiborne on Nashville, doesn't pursue the four-wheelers. I was just like, wow, watch the video. It's mind-blowing, to be honest with you. Because of proactive policing, because of Troop NOLA, couple of days ago, I had Colonel Robert Hodges on the program on Wednesday, the head of the Louisiana State Police. That you don't see these four-wheelers on Sunday. You don't see the drifting cars anymore. You want to know why? Because those people are getting arrested. And the criminals, they're not watching this program. They don't know who Colonel Hodges is. But they know Jimmy, their buddy, his four-wheeler got confiscated. He's in jail. Freddie, their friend who was drifting, car got confiscated. They're in jail. Bill, who was committing a crime and ran from the police and had done it 20 times and there was no pursuit. They pursued him and they caught him and he's in jail. So we don't see the little petty small crimes anymore. And that decreases the big crimes. It sends out a message to criminals. Hey, New Orleans has law enforcement and they'll get you now. So getting rid of the small stuff like the drifting and the four-wheelers on Sunday is good for the bigger crimes being eliminated. Well, for Helena Moreno and the city of New Orleans, these kind of, quote, smaller things will help the city as far as growing the economy. Indirectly, it'll help the city, just like getting rid of the four-wheelers and the drifters got rid of, the small crimes helps big crimes. One of these initiatives is trash. I mean, my entire life as a New Orleans native, we're the filthiest city in America. How often do you talk to a friend who went on a trip? How was Phoenix? How was Atlanta? How was Seattle? How was Chicago? Whatever. Oh, the first thing they say, not, hey, we visited the world's largest ball of twine or went to the museum or whatever, great restaurant, whatever. They go, boy, it was so clean. How many times have you heard a native New Orleanian go on a trip and come back and you say, how was the trip? And they go, it was so clean. It kind of burns me up because, no, it's not so clean. It's normal in those other places. New Orleans is just so filthy. That's the thing. Those places aren't so clean. It's New Orleans is so filthy. It's time, and you need like a Helena Moreno stepping up and saying it and having an initiative and having people back it up. And it's not just improving New Orleans sanitation department. The citizens are the problem. In New Orleans and Jefferson and St. Tammany, throwing crap out the car, throwing trash on the ground, emptying their crap in the parking lot, at a red light, opening the door and throwing their crap out, dumping their ashtray. Cigarette smokers are the worst litterers. They justify it like every other cigarette smoker throws their cigarette butt on the ground. You're littering. I don't know what, smoking, I don't care what you do. Do crack cocaine, eat lead paint chips. I don't care. But your cigarette, quit throwing the butts on the street. You're littering. I don't care. It's a small piece of litter. The weight, It's the number one litter in Louisiana and the United States. Cigarette butts. Google it. Number one litter product. Not plastic, cigarette butts, which, by the way, have plastic in them and they don't biodegrade. They're not cardboard and paper. They have plastic in them and they're litter. But we need to not be the filthiest city in America. And the way we do that, Helena Moreno leads the way with an initiative, and we all buy into it. And then a couple of other things. I call it We Be Diggin'. There should be signs all over New Orleans. We be digging. We be digging small holes, planting trees everywhere. I mean, we're in the subtropic zone on an island in a marsh. We should be the greenest, luscious city in America by default. Instead, we have an 18% tree canopy. Atlanta, Georgia has 49%. That's unacceptable. Besides, keeping things cooler, like go to Uptown in the summer compared to like Metairie or New Orleans East. It's a lot cooler under the trees. Big oak trees and other trees absorb 1,000+ gallons of water. It's flood mitigation. And we be digging big holes. We should be digging retention ponds all over Metro New Orleans. Flood mitigation, trash. These things indirectly can help build our economy in the future. The little things. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
If you got to have a fence, you got to see the Fence Man, a locally owned, fully insured fencing company serving the Metro New Orleans area for over 20 years. You got to see the Fence Man, thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Simlawn artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, it's a New Orleans institution since 1940. Literally 86 years of excellence. It's Young's Dry Cleaning. YoungsDryCleaning.com. best dry cleaner in the city. I have been talking about Young's Dry Cleaning since the late 90s. Literally, one of the longest talk radio hosts in America endorsing a single entity, a single company in the United States of America. Me with Young's Dry Cleaning. It's a fact. Almost 30 years I've been talking about Young's Dry Cleaning. Think about that. Almost 30 years. Talk about loyalty to me, loyalty to them. For me, it's easy. They're the best in the business. But Dale and his brother Don, they believe in me and always have. I mean, when Katrina hit and I wasn't doing a talk show, Young's Dry Cleaning stuck with me. They're like, Corey, you're not doing a show, so we can't pay you for advertising. But we've always done your dry cleaning. Keep bringing us your dry cleaning and we'll take care of it for you. I was like, that's fantastic. And then once I got back on doing a show, I made up for all that dry cleaning they had done for me for like a year, not charging them, you know. We let them come on the air for free for a while to catch up for all that dry cleaning they've done. Talk about loyalty. No, these guys are the best. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Friday edition of the program, a fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you're right. Monday, a huge day for the city of New Orleans. I know a native New Orleanian that's very happy about Monday. Talk about dedicated to the city. He could have moved not one, but two of his restaurants to Jefferson Parish. Jefferson Parish wants him. They love Katie's on Veterans. They love Francesca Deli in River Ridge. They love it. They want it. But Scott Craig, he loves Jefferson Parish, but he's loyal to New Orleans, and he's not moving Katie's out of Mid-City, and he's not moving Francesca Deli out of Lakeview. That's called loyalty and dedication to his city that he loves. Scott Craig joins us live on the program. Scott, what's up, brother? Monday, a huge day.
What's going on, man?
Monday's a big day, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm talking low, but I am at the vet's office.
Yeah, what, Spartacus? No, what's the name of your doggy?
Agador Spartacus.
Unbelievable.
The Birdcage.
That's a funny movie.
Oh, it's the funniest. It's my favorite movie of all time.
No,
comedy. Hysterical. Absolutely hysterical.
Robin Williams,
yeah,
may
man,
he rest in
I
peace.
love New Orleans, and I'm fired up about New Orleans. I am fired up about the future of New Orleans. It's going to be tough for several years, but I think that the leadership, you know, the council, everybody, man, I'm excited about the whole thing. The mayor, the council, everybody, they're all on board.
Here's the deal, Scott. There's hope. There's an expectation. The last 8 years, there was no hope. There was zero expectation. I mean, a huge blessing. Junket Cantrell, 11:59 on Monday. She's done. Noon on Monday, Helena Moreno takes over. But by default, we could have a cinder block taken over, I said last hour, and it would be an improvement.
Well, you know, it's a shame.
I mean, it is a shame, but it's reality. I'm with you, brother. I'm not a jerk. I'm a compassionate person. I like people. I'm just like you. But facts are the facts. Junket Cantrell was a disaster for the city. Uh-oh, we're losing you, Scott. You still there? Yeah, I think you're in a bad cell spot at that vet's office. Can you get back to where you were? Uh-oh. I think we've lost Scott Craig. Scott, we're going to try to hook back up with you if you get in a better cellular device spot. You there, Scott? We've lost Scott Craig. We'll call him back in a second. Monday is a big, big day in New Orleans. Helena Moreno coming in, sworn in as the 67th mayor Monday at 12 noon. And Junket Cantrell out the door at 12 noon on Monday. No, Scott's a good guy. He's a compassionate person. He likes people. He doesn't like negative. He's positive. He's a positive force. But and I try to be too. But the last 8 years were a friggin' disaster. New Orleans is a dysfunctional city. We're not Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, obviously. We don't have the economy of those cities. We don't have the economy of Nashville or Austin. I mean, when you think about New Orleans and our economy, it's like Detroit or Flint, Michigan. We're a failure. We're dysfunctioning. We've been on a downward slide for literally 40 years since the oil bust of the early 80s. So many people have been born and have died and have left town, not coming back, all of that. And New Orleans has been on a steady decline. What's crazy about it is the South as a region, the fastest growing region in the United States of America the last 40, 50 years. Texas, the fastest growing state the last 30, 40, 50 years in the United States of America. We're literally surrounded by explosive growth. And as I mentioned last hour to Michael Heck, we didn't miss the boat. We missed the rocket ship. Explosive growth in Texas and around the South, and we're twiddling our thumbs, doping around. It's a disaster, especially for people like me, Scott Craig, that have stayed here, and you that have stayed here all this time. How many family members live somewhere else? How many of your kids live somewhere else? How many of your neighbors, friends live somewhere else? I remember when I was a kid, when I was like 18 or 20, had the same loyalty and dedication in New Orleans. I used to get mad at these people. But I was 18 or 20 and I didn't understand economics and job and working and money and kids and school and all of this stuff. Quality of life, and as I grew older, 25, 30, I had half my friends. I'm getting married. When I was getting married, I had like a dozen groomsmen. They're all native New Orleanians. Half of them lived elsewhere. More than half, like 7 or 8 of the 12 live in other cities. And I never, after college, 20, 25, I was like, I hear you. So much opportunity elsewhere. You can move there. You can have a normal life. You're going to make good money. There's opportunity in any profession you're in. In New Orleans, there's so many men I'll bump into and they're like, hey, I'm from Ohio. I'm like, and I'm like, why'd you move down here? Let me guess. You married a local. They're like, how'd you know? I'm like, because it won the economy. And then I'll be like, what do you do for a living? And he's like, yeah, I sell cars at the Toyota dealership. I'm like, what did you do when you were in Cleveland? Oh, I was an engineer. So, I mean, that's a bad example because we have engineers down here. But in New Orleans, there's a few professions that anyone from anywhere can come here and do. Doctor, nurse, lawyer, engineer, and food industry, like, the service industry. That's about it. Any other city in America, just about any other city in America you can go to, those ones I mentioned, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, Austin, Nashville, Phoenix, Denver, Seattle, you name it. Any profession you have, you can get a job in that city and do very well. New Orleans, very, very limited. So I don't blame people for moving away at all. But for the folks like you and me that stayed here all this time, it's been a pretty tough 40 years, It really has been. The oil bust was like in 83, 84, 85. And all these other cities, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, tripled in size. Cities that they're now cities, they were towns 40 years ago. Nashville, Austin. Baton Rouge was bigger than these places 40 years ago. Now they're major cities with double the population of Metro New Orleans. No, it's embarrassing. It's pathetic. It's unacceptable. So maybe for the first time in a long time, there's actual hope. There's expectations. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you Helena Moreno, it's like, hey, we're bringing in Drew Brees. It's a guaranteed success, but we have a chance. Helena Moreno's smart. She's dedicated. She's civic-minded. Her and her husband do well financially. She doesn't need to steal or set up friends and family with contracts or city jobs. None of that's going to happen. And if it does, I'll hold her accountable. But I'm not expecting any of that to happen. I know Helena Moreno. We're not tight. We're not like friends, but we're friendly. And I know her. We're acquaintances. I've known her for 20 plus years when she was at Channel 6 working in television. No, she's an honest, hardworking person who's intelligent, that knows right from wrong, really kind of like me and most of you, incapable of doing wrong. She's not a deviant thinker. She's not trying to get something for free, kind of the opposite of the present mayor. So Monday at noon can't come soon enough. We're going to have a great weekend at 11:59 on Monday. Junket Cantrell's mayoral, 8 years is over. History. 11:59 and 59 seconds on Monday. She's toast. And at 12 noon, Helena Moreno gets inaugurated as mayor. It'll be interesting to see if Junket Cantrell even shows up on Monday. If she is even there for the inauguration, that'll be funny to see. And I don't care if she's there or not. I'm just glad to see her gone because she was a friggin' nightmare. And you know what's next up for her? I don't wish ill will on anyone. All right, maybe like Adolf Hitler or someone like that, Vladimir Putin. But Helena Moreno will be mayor, and Junket Cantrell will get to look forward to either pleading guilty, she's federally indicted, or going to trial and most likely losing and going to jail. No, thank goodness. I nicknamed her Junket Cantrell years ago. The junkets were obnoxious. Not a single dollar, not a single job created on all of those trips. Just a belligerent, narcissistic, just almost insane person. It's just really sad. And you know, a lot of people like Junket Cantrell's dumb. She's not. She went to Xavier. She's educated. I'm not going to sit here and tell you she's smart or she's sharpest tool in the shed. Kind of not the opposite. The opposite would be she's dumb or uneducated. She's educated, but she is painfully average. Nothing special. So we had no chance if she was honest and legitimate. She would have had to surround herself with just incredible people at every single position, and it was basically the opposite. Very few exceptions. Gilbert Montano was a pretty good hire. Ghassan Corbin running the Sewage and Water Board got him out of Milwaukee. That was a great hire. There are very few that I can come up with. There are many that I can come up with that were absolutely terrible. Look at Helena Moreno. They're getting rid of 35 positions in that mayor's office that Junket Cantrell created to set up friends and family with a nonsense job. Hey, you people in the administration of Junket Cantrell, guess what? The free ride's over with. The free paycheck doing nothing is over with. Pretending to wake up every day and get showered and dressed and put on your clothes and drive in your car to City Hall, pretending you're doing a job, it's over with. Good luck finding a real job with that pathetic resume. Coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. Yeah, you right. Welcome back. I think we got Scott Craig back with us.
Why'd you hang up on me, bro?
You know, it's like, hell with Scott.
Boy, is this weather beautiful? I'm standing outside of the vet's office going, man, this is great.
Well, you know, the 5 o'clock whistle every Friday, appropriately brought to you by Katie's. I was mentioning during that talking about the 5 o'clock whistle, I said Katie's is on the corner of Iberville and Tallahassee. Scott has tables running down the Iberville side of the building, and he's got tables running down the Tallahassee side of the building. And a few months ago, he opened, a year ago, he opened a patio inside, and I say inside, but outside. So with this mild weather we're having in January, especially with 30s, 40s, and 50s for all next week, we'll finally fade into like a week or 10 days of actual winter in New Orleans next week. I was imploring folks tonight for dinner, tomorrow for lunch, brunch, or dinner, Sunday brunch. Get to Katie's and dine outside and enjoy this weather before this little wintry mix comes next week, and you can't dine outside.
What wintry mix are we having next week? Is it going to be rain?
No, 30s, 40s, and 50s temperatures. It's cold.
Beautiful, man. We need that, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm all for it. I want some damn summer, man.
No, me too. But I love New Orleans, Scott, because like you, we have this week of mild weather. I like it. And then next week we're going to have winter weather. I like it. It's just incredible. I mean, I don't want to bring up Minnesota, but you saw everything everybody else saw. What I'm bringing up is you saw the snow and the gray sky. Everybody else has got the snow blower out till March. We've got cold, warm, cold, warm. I love New Orleans weather.
Right. I've got a close friend that he's from Minneapolis, and he lives there. I was like, dude, why don't you move back to New Orleans? He lived here. That's where we met back in the 80s and early 90s. I said, why don't you move back to New Orleans, man? We love one another here. There's no humbug here. And he's like, no, I like the cold weather. I said, yeah, well, good luck with that. I don't want to shovel snow and have to, defrost my windshield every morning. And, it's just funny.
No, God, that's
funny.
I mean, that blizzard, that 11 inches of snow last year that we had, scraping the windshield and all that crap. I was lucky I had a car that has it's all 4-wheel drive or whatever. It's, it's not four wheels. It's, like all 4 wheels are pulling, and I could get through that snow pretty good. I tested that vehicle out. It worked really well, but yeah, we're not built for that.
No. People are like, oh, it was so cool. It was so cool.
It was.
It was, except for the 3 days of business you lose.
No, exactly, Scott. It's like a hurricane.
Me because we need business. That's why we're open. I mean, I've got salaried employees I got to pay. It just. But it was neat. It was neat, but we don't need any more of that.
How optimistic are you about Monday? I mean, at least there's hope and optimism. That's refreshing. The last 8 years, no optimism and no hope, Scott.
You're right. It's just nobody wanted to work together, and it's everybody was working against everyone, and we can't have that, man. It's like we don't need humbug. I love that word. We just don't need the humbug, and it's created by both sides. And, and now we're going into a fresh start, and it's going to be difficult. I wish the city would have been doing weekly or monthly P&Ls to see where we stood, but I guess they didn't believe in that. But
they'll be doing it now with Joe Giarrusso and Helena Moreno. I mean, I stress to people, I'm like, folks are like, oh, another Democrat mayor, whatever. All I can tell you is we have hope and expectation now, and forget about political ideology. We had just a worthless, belligerent mayor, Junket Cantrell, worrying about trips, not us, very selfish. And now you got a civic-minded person. And Michael Heck and I were talking last hour. I was like, there's not a Republican or a conservative voice in New Orleans politics, not an elected official, not an appointed or anointed one. And, I'm an independent like you, Scott, but I think we need both sides. And Michael Heck said Helena Moreno has been meeting with people, lunch, dinners with a lot of conservative Republicans. So their voices will be heard in this administration. And that really gives us a chance, because all Democrat or all Republican, in my mind, doesn't work. You need a little of both.
No, you're right. We got to work together.
Yep.
I mean, we've got to come to the middle and work together and get things done. And you can't be fighting on two sides. It just doesn't make sense to me, man. I want everybody to just get along.
Yeah.
Whether you like Trump or not, it is what it is.
Exactly.
We gotta get along and try to make it work for the good of the country.
Yep.
And it just I don't get involved in all that stuff, but I just want the city to be great. And I mean, it's such a great city. And we have so much potential to be like Nashville, to be like Austin. Mobile's growing, for Christ's sake.
Mobile's blowing up. When Mobile finishes that bridge,
a beautiful city.
Yep. When Mobile finishes the bridge over the Mobile River and the new Jubilee Parkway to the Eastern Shore, that city is going to friggin' blow up. It's going to explode. No, New Orleans needs to be prepared. Birmingham, Alabama is about 50,000 people short of having the same population in Metro Birmingham as we have in Metro New Orleans. To me, there's something fundamentally wrong with that. Not Birmingham doing great, us not blowing and going ourselves,
Yeah, it's pretty bad, because what's Birmingham got to offer?
No, I know. But they got a good economy, and they're doing some things right there. I know we lose to a bunch of cities that, don't have the natural assets we have. It's really sinful what we've done the last 40 years.
It is.
Hey, Scott, real quick. What's going on tonight at Katie's, and what's going on tonight at Francesca Deli in Lakeview?
Well, at Katie's, we've got beautiful fresh fish, and we've got house-made boudin stuffed double-cut pork chops that we made today. I may have some melitons left. We had stuffed meliton with a little bit of light seafood cream with catfish. It was so good for lunch. Or just come get a burger or a shrimp po' boy or a pizza or my world-famous ribs. Sit on the patio and enjoy this gorgeous night. Or you can do the same at the deli. Go grab a sandwich or a pizza and sit out on Harrison Avenue on the little patio.
Yep.
It's just a beautiful night. Enjoy this weather this weekend, guys. Enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, outdoor dining.
You got Katie's or Francesca.
Yep, Francesca's seafood night, Katie's, rocking and rolling. Yeah, enjoy this outdoor dining. Hey, Scotty, how's the dog doing? I know you're at the vet.
Well, he's in there with his mom right now. They did he's fine, we think. He doesn't have any murmurs or anything, because they would have felt it in his heart. But he's got a cough, and Pomeranians get this little tracheal cough.
Yep.
And we're hoping that's all it is, but the medicine they've given us hasn't worked. And and he's gained 2 pounds, which, he's only 13 now. He's 15 pounds.
Wow, he's been eating a lot. Scotty, that's Blue Boy barking up a storm, saying the best for your doggy.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
See you next week,
on
Scotty.
TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.
Excellent.
Also
in studio.
On
Awesome.
radio.
Have a great weekend, New Orleans. See you Monday.
WSLA New Orleans.
All right, brother.
It's 6 p.m.